Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is $2.50, so you can get your gym gains on. Or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Welcome to CJ Moneyway Media, a storytelling platform built brick by brick, where conversations become lessons and experiences become perspective. This is the mindset of a panther, moving with patience, discipline, and purpose. From podcasts to books to media storytelling, CJ Moneyway brings voices, journeys, and real conversations to the forefront. You're now listening to the CJ Moneyway Show.
What's up, my good people? Welcome to the CJ Moneyway Show, powered by CJ Moneyway Entertainment and Believe Network, where legacy is the goal, purpose is the blueprint. Today's episode is about brotherhood, business, media, and responsibility. Yes, today, my man, Gerald Jones. You know, we're going to send a shout out to his man, Kevin Clark. Emmy winners, award-winning writers and producers, longtime business partners, and the founder of Blessn app. Their story doesn't begin in a boardroom. It began backstage at the Academy Award. Hey, welcome to the show today, my man, Gerald. What's up, G?
Oh, man, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Man, thank you for coming on, man. So, man, me and my man G just had a good conversation behind stage, come to find out. Of course, he living the real LA life because that's where he from. Both are longtime Lakers fan, and we going to meet up at a Lakers game because I have never been to LAX, but I've been a Laker fan since 1980, and so we had a good conversation about that. And so, G, man, let me ask you this, man. You and Kev, the 20-year brotherhood that you guys have and your business partner, you met backstage at the Academy Awards, man. Tell me how that was.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, actually, I got into the Academy Awards through Debbie Allen. I used to intern for Debbie Allen, the choreographer. So she was choreographing the show back then, and she got me in as an intern over there. So I started working there, man, over 20 years ago. It's been so long. And backstage, there was another guy working named Kevin. So we ended up chatting it up backstage in between what we had to do on the show. And we came to realize we had a lot of the same interests. We were both interested in filmmaking. We both had the same drive and both vision for what we want to be. And we were both the same age. A lot of the cats back there were, a lot older than us. It was just me and him who were about the same age. So we hit it off right then and there. And soon after that, we just kept in contact and we created a couple of short films we did together. We did some PSAs and then it led us into creating what now we have is an app called Blessn.
That's pretty cool, man. So kindred spirits, we just connected like Jonathan and David back in the day. But hold up, man, I got to stop right here. Because before we got on, man, you told me that you had an autograph. Who? The guard. Debbie Allen Nixon. And so it came to light. Okay, I see why you got an autograph. He was to work with his wife. Come on, man. You left that part out on me, G, man. You left that part out on me.
I did.
I had to circle back. I'm like, wait, did I just hear what he just said? But that's pretty cool, man. Debbie Allen, man, she's a world-class lady. And, you never hear nothing about her. And she's been out there doing her thing for decades, and she's still beautiful today, her sister.
And very wise. She came on me. She had a lot to teach me. I mean, she's just very wise. So I really appreciate the opportunity to have spent some time with her and then get in the game. And through that connection, it got me to where we are today. So I really give her a shout out every time I can.
Man, favor ain't fair, man. But favor, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't just understand it. Other people can open up the doors for other things and other people, man. So I feel privileged for somebody who has worked and been with Debbie Allen to be sitting here talking to this man today, man. So thank you for gracing the CJ Moneyway show. Hey, so let me ask you this, G, man. How was it winning Emmy, man, for social impact?
Oh, yeah. So, that's the funny part is, so me and Kevin, my business partner, it was back in the time, this is, 2016, I believe it was, when we won the Emmy Award. But back then, there was a lot of school violence, still is today, but there was some school violence. We saw something on the news that really affected us. And we both have kids. I got kids. I got one in high school and two in college right now. And he has a young one who's like in junior high. But back then we were thinking, man, this is really crazy what's going on at these schools. So in one day, I cast my nephew, my niece. I shot it in my house with just the equipment we had at home. We just put it together in one day. We shot it all in one day, put it together. We submitted it. It got broadcast out here in the LA area. We entered it into the Emmy Awards, not thinking anything, just like, let's just give it a shot. Yeah. There's a category for PSAs. Let's just throw it in there and see what happens. And we got nominated, which alone we were just happy. Like, we got nominated. And we was going up against like Honda and like Yamaha and these like big corporations. It was like, there's no way. There's no way. So we decided to attend the show just because, we never thought we'd ever get a chance to be on that side of the red carpet where we were actually guests instead of working backstage. So we get down there, and thankfully we were the very first category called because we were already sweating bullets thinking we didn't even belong in this room. So first category called, public service announcement, and out of nowhere, we didn't have a speech or anything. They called our name, and we were in shock. Went upstage. I forgot to thank my mom. I went upstage. I was so worried that they made a mistake that I wanted to leave immediately after they gave me that trophy. Oh. I'm not even going to stand there. So we did. Man. I was ready to leave. I was like, man, they made a mistake. How could we have won? But it was a good, funny experience, man. It was a real blessing to have that. I mean, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We got it, and it's amazing that we got it.
Man, it's amazing. Now I see why you guys called your app Blessn. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just amazing how it work, man. You know what I'm saying? It make those things that's not, as they are. They say speak those things that's not as they were. But just how you just open up doors, when you don't feel like you deserving or, who am I? We going up against Honda and all these people, and here I am, and then God just raises you, saying you guys up, man, and y'all take it from there, including all of the steps that go there. And one thing I like to highlight too is that, like people can see you winning an Emmy and, doing films and doing the things that you're doing and create apps, man, but I don't know, man, it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, it's not peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? Even in LA, baby, where I said, but everything ain't peaches and cream. And there's some steps, it's setbacks and, things of that nature, man. But congratulations on that, man. And I wish you guys plenty more success in all the things that you're doing. Hey, so let me ask you this, G, man. Since you and Kevin, y'all been together for a long time. Why does long-term partnership matter?
It's funny. We were doing taxes for one of our businesses recently, and our accountant was like, how long you guys been business partners? And we were like, man, we've been hanging out doing some type of business for over 20 years. And he was like, 20 years? Every person I've ever met who's had a business partner, they usually call it quits within the first 5 years. Like nobody makes it past 5 years. So, I think it's really a blessing that we were able to like complete each other mentally. Like whatever I'm lacking, he is picking up, and whatever skills he's lacking, it seems like I always got that. And I don't know, we just been really lucky that whenever I'm like feeling down in the dumps or I'm feeling discouraged, like, man, this is not going to work, man, we're wasting our time and our money. He's on an optimistic viewpoint. And then whenever he's down in the dumps, I'm always optimistic. So we just been very lucky that one of us is always pulling the other one out. Like, no, man, we got this. Let's do this. And it's been like, like movies, it's been, production stuff we've done. It's been the Blessn app. It took 3 years to get Blessn off the ground. I mean, that was a journey. So it was a struggle and a lot of like failures on the way to get it launched. So it's really good to have somebody who matches your energy and matches your drive in order to be successful. Because if you feel like you're pulling all the weight and the other guy's just enjoying the perks of it, you're not going to be a good partnership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like that. Accountability, saying, you got somebody that's going to be, you got to be accountable for, especially if you see them working. You're like, hey, I got to put in my fair share too. And then, saying in the love and the trust that you guys have built over the years, where you got mutual respect, at the same time. But then too, that's biblical too. It say that it's good for two to go together because one fall, the other one is there to pick them up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we do fall and you do need people to pick you up. And if you're by yourself, ain't nobody to help you You know what I'm saying? So, man, kudos to you guys, man. I wish I had a partner or a friendship or business partnership like that, man. But just to say, I'm solo dolo at this moment. Hey, so let me ask you this, Gerald, man. Using storytelling to create change, man. How is that for you guys?
Well, I think we've always been creative, like from the beginning. Even when I was a young man, a kid, I always been thinking in the creative mind space. And even my kids are creative like that too. So what it is I think if you can create change through media, through what we did with Blessn, which is a social media app for Christians, or uplifting content, seeing content that's uplifting and inspiring or motivational, that's going to give you that energy you need to make the change or to believe in yourself or to keep pushing forward. But a lot of times you see content that's negative or discouraging or divisive, and that just puts you in a bad mood. It gives you that bad energy. And we didn't want to push that. We want to push uplifting content. That's why we created a whole platform for pushing uplifting content on Blessn.
So let me ask you this, G, man. You say that the content that you guys push out or, spiritual or, inspiring content that you guys do. So how does Blessn work, man? Tell us a bit about the app, man. And where can we find it and where can we start starting today?
All right. Well, yeah, Blessn is very similar to any other social media platform you guys use, like Instagram or TikTok. Has the same short video content that users like yourself or me or anybody who wants to join Blessn can create content and upload it just like you would on any other social media platform. What makes us different is that we don't reward negative content. We don't reward shock value where most other platforms are rewarding and your algorithm is mostly shock value or death or something that's really doesn't apply, doesn't really heal you. So with Blessn, everything you see on there is going to be uplifting. Everything you see on there is going to be positive. And then the creators are creating more and more positive where it feels like you're in a community where you want to create more positive content. So we have people on there hyping each other up, encouraging each other, showing off their dance skills. It's just like any other platform you would have, except it's all positive. I don't know if you remember back in the pandemic, everything was positive. I mean, on social media, it was fun because everybody was stuck at home. They were doing funny skits. They were doing dance. They were doing like all these trends that were fun. And then it just started getting darker and darker and darker in order to get clicks and to get, people's attention. So we want to bring it back to when it was fun. So if you're looking for something, lighthearted and fun, but still a good positive place, you can get Blessn on the App Store, Apple App Store, or the Google Play Store.
I like that, man. I think I would be joining Blessn today. Because like you say, all we had to depend on was God at that time because a lot of people wasn't working. We stuck in the house. You got to talk to. We just wasn't in the surroundings, And so when you need something, you tend to be more humbled and, seek out more. But, man, when the doors open up, though, for you to be able to do what you want to do, man, all that is to the wayside, because a lot of times we not truly grounded, in that word or in what we're doing. We was just there temporarily because we had to be there, not be you wanted to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to trust in God, not that I wanted to, but I had to at that moment. And so when it got time, when the pandemic broke, now I can trust in myself again. Now I can lean into my own understanding again. That's exactly what I'm doing. And that's why we have a lot of this negative stuff out here because as my motto say, legacy over likes, baby. But we got a lot of people that they would do anything for likes and views. But on the CJ Moneyway show and on the Blessn app, we ain't going for it.
What makes this unique also with Blessn is for anybody who's an influencer on there, a contributor, they can start monetizing their account from day one. You don't have to have like millions and millions of followers to start making money as a contributor or influencer on Blessn. You can start making money the very first day you sign up. So we created a platform inside the platform where somebody can request a personalized message from you, personalized message of faith. So instead of people going to some of these other platforms where they have to compromise their values by showing off body parts and stuff like that to make money, you can do the same thing on Blessn, make money as an influencer by doing uplifting content and by brightening somebody's day. So if you want to make money, you can come over to Blessn.
Man, you can't get no better than that, man. How could you be more best than to make money on Blessn? Hey, let me ask you this, G, man. Tell us about the emotional toll of modern social media.
Yeah, the whole spirit behind Blessn is the intent of it. And the intent is to be positive. And I remember I was scrolling through social media before we created this app. And I was laying in bed, scrolling social media, about to go to sleep. And I started realizing I was getting anxious. I was getting some anxiety. I was having a hard time sleep now because I was feeling a little bit angry, and it was a bad vibe, man. I was like, this got to be something better. I can't be scrolling through this social media platforms and then feeling bad at the end of the day. And even when I called my mom, I had to tell my mom, get off of social media. She'd be stressed out, anxious about what's happening in the world. Everything's going to come down crashing. The world's going to end, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, Mom, you got to get off of social media. So I knew this is where it's at. The genie's out of the bottle. Social media is here to stay. So I called my buddy, Kevin, and I said, hey, man, I got this idea for this app. We didn't have the name at the time, but I was telling him, let's make a Christian-themed, faith-driven app where people can uplift positive content instead of all of this divisive content. And that's really what put us on our journey, which was a 3-year journey to get Blessn from conception all the way out to launch.
This episode is brought to you by CJ Moneyway Media, where podcast ideas become platforms. Through the Moneyway Lab Masterclass, CJ shares real lessons from the lab for creators building their voices brick by brick. From powerful guest conversations, storytelling that inspires growth. CJ Moneyway Media is about one thing, building legacy through stories. Learn more at cjmoneyway.com.
Music style.
Good, man. You put him first, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Didn't have a name, got a name now. Do some times to try to get this thing off the ground, got it now. You can find them on Google Play and the Apple Store. Hey, that's a big thing right there, man. Where you can get on Google Play and the Apple Store, man. And I ain't gonna get in my man's pocket, but that sound like a little ching ching there for me. And so, let me ask you this, G, man.
Yeah.
Risking personal capital for cultural change. What was that like, man?
You know, when you feel like something's your calling, no matter what it is, if it's sports, if it's entertainment, if you want to be a filmmaker, or if you want to create an app, if it's your calling, you're going to put everything behind it. Because, well, like I tell my kids is, if you don't believe in yourself, why do you expect somebody else to believe in you? So we didn't go to look for outside funding. We saved up over the years while we were in development. We were saving, putting a little war chest together to put Blessn out, and we were able to launch it. But I didn't have any fear, and I still don't have any fear if this thing's a success or a failure. The matter is that it felt like a calling, and I had to do it, and we had to do it. We had to see it come from the conception to launching, and that's been everything. Even with the PSA, we spent our own money doing that. Every project we ever had has been self-financed. So this is just one more project that we believed in. Okay.
So it's something that people say to me all the time. And I like the humbleness. I like the humbleness of the whole situation. You said that if it succeeds or if it fails, I just felt as though it was something that I had to do, with something that's in my heart. And, I be modest a lot of times too about certain things. I got one partner, I always check me on that. He'll say, CJ, it ain't no question about failing, because if God gave it to you, you can't do nothing but succeed. Just like you say the PSA, you know what I'm saying? We did that in a day and sent it to the Emmys. We didn't think we was going to win. Oh, we went to the Emmys and we, was nervous because now they would be on this side of the red carpet, and then we won.
Yeah.
Man, if God got his hands on it, you can't lose, G. You had already won the game, man. You just gotta, we just gotta sit back and just see where this thing go, man. You're doing something positive in the name of Jesus, man. It cannot fail, brother.
Amen.
And so I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on that one, man. It can't fail. It's already, you've already won, man. You know what I'm saying? You already won. So let me ask you this, G, man. The business of goodness, man. How was it building a tech startup based on value?
Well, it's like, I feel like David and Goliath, really. You see all these platforms out there that are not aligned with Christ. So we're new to the game. We know it's an uphill battle, but we have a market that I think that's a valuable market, a market that is in need of something like this. And there's a lot of people who are having issues with social media and a lot of media these days where they're tired of feeling drained. You're about to jump in your car and go to work and you're scrolling through social media. Now you're in the car mad, honking at people on the freeway. People are tired of that stuff. And there's never been a platform or an outlet like Blessn. So creating Blessn, I think the spirit is there, the intent is there. And if people are looking for something positive or just trying to change their algorithm once in a while, they can still, I'm not asking anybody to jump off the other apps. They can still use the app, but whenever you feel like, man, that's enough, let me feel something positive, they jump on Blessn, just scroll for that before you go to bed or before you start your day. And you're going to have a lot better day. I guarantee that.
Man, you know how it is, man. It's all about what people want. And I tell you one thing, too. I'm sick of y'all out there on y'all phones on Facebook driving and everything, too, because you don't be paying attention to what's going on. And other people behind you, semi-truck about to run me over, you don't even know because you doing 5 miles per hour because you trying to see what somebody else doing, man. You better start going to Blessn so that you can get a blessing and be a blessing for somebody else, man. Start putting some good stuff in you, man, and let's get rid of all this negativity, all this toxic energy, man. Let's start thinking with a renewed mind as he wants us to be, man. I can sense Blessn being something of importance in this season. You said something that made me think about it, Gerald. I do like AI music and stuff like that. Things that I work on for myself to, promote my stuff or whatever. So things that I'm doing. One of the songs, it said, let's turn AI to something sanctified. You know what I'm saying? And so when you were saying like Blessn, and so that I thought about, hey, Blessn, let's turn social media into something sanctified. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can have all this negative stuff out there, all this demonized stuff out there, why can't we have the blessings of God? I know you got pastors that, be on Instagram and things of that nature, whatever. But like you said, nothing quite like this. You know what I'm saying? A Facebook that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? This is the new Facebook, a blessing, man. Oh, man, if you're going to be like Park, man, hey, man, I'm going to need a loan, G. I'm going to need a loan, man.
I'm going to follow you out with that Lakers game. We're going to be front row.
Oh, man. Hey, I'm going to be there, too, with my LeBron James jersey on, man, if he's still there, But let me ask you this, man. You guys are faith-driven entrepreneurs. So did it start off like that, or did that just happen to come about over time?
Well, I think we've always been really deep in our faith. I mean, I grew up at a Catholic school for 9 years. I went to church every day. I was I was in the choir. Even though I can't sing, they didn't clown me. They let me join the choir. I just a little lower than everybody else. But exactly. So I was, it's always been the base, the foundation for my life. So when we were creating something like this, we knew this was the way to go. And I think people should be rewarded for their faith, rewarded for their values instead of giving up their values to be rewarded. Nobody wants to go on there and show off their, in order to get a little money. You should be rewarded for positive values. And there was no place like that. And if you're a pastor, you know what I realized? I follow a lot of content creators of uplifting positive Christian values on my other social media platforms. But what I realized is while I'm looking at their content, I'd be streaming and looking at it, flipping through. All of a sudden, you get something that you weren't expecting. You're like, man, why is this on my feed? Why is this on here? And then you're seeing something you weren't planning on seeing. And then next thing you know, if you stay on that for too long, you end up getting more and more of that. So I was like, no, we can't have any of that. We want to have a safe place for everybody to scroll without getting hit with somebody trying to sell their OnlyFans page or something like that. So we just want to reward people for being positive. That's why we created Blessn, and we created the opportunity to make money on it instead of just using it as a social media tool.
That's funny, baby. Think about something. I was working on something myself, and I was just reading and say when I wanted to do good, I couldn't. The good that I wanted to do, I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was tossed to and fro from my own desires. So as you said, I look at something long enough, I'm going to start desiring to keep looking at it. You know what I'm saying? If you show me a shot of it, a beautiful one in LA, I think I might just keep on looking at it. You know what I'm saying? I might went on there to find an inspirational message, like you say, with the pastor, them content.
Yeah.
Then something pop up on my feed. And Okay, now I went all the way from there. I looked at a couple of them. Now I looked at I spent the next 20 minutes looking at this. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Went in there with one thing, but came out with another, and that goes with that. I wanted to do good, but evil seemed to always follow me, man. And we serve a Almighty God, but don't believe that we not getting attacked by the enemy. That He ain't out there too. That's why blessing is about to be a blessing for a lot of people, man. I'm excited about it. I'm ready to join. I think I'm gonna check it out as soon as we get off this call, man. I'm excited for you guys, and I want to be a part of it. Hey, so let me ask you this, G man. What kind of digital future do you guys want to leave behind?
I really wish we can make a big enough change where all of this is not even necessary. People just feel like there's no need to post anything negative out there because we are in a digital world. Everything we do is digital. Our phones are always tracking us. They're always listening. You got your car, which everything is digital. You can't even fix your car anymore. Everything is digital these days. So if we can make a little bit of a change and start laying the foundation for other people to start saying, hey, I love Blessn. Let me create something that kind of aligns with that. Even if it's AI, like we were talking about. Maybe somebody has a faith-driven AI company or a faith-driven rap song. We have a lot of rappers on here. We got musicians on here. We got country singers on here. Everybody who's just doing what they would normally do on these other platforms, they're starting to post on Blessn already. We got NBA basketball players. We got somebody from the Brooklyn Nets. We got retired all-stars on here. We got a couple of NBA players on there, and country singers and comedians. So it's a space for everybody to come and just have fun. It's just, you're not going to see anything negative. You're not going to see anybody get shot or beat up. You're not going to see anybody get hit by a car. But what you are going to see is fun and uplifting, and it's going to make your whole day better. So even if you want to just test it out, you don't have to join Blessn. You can just scroll through it for free. It's always free, but you can just scroll through it without even making an account. We want to make it open so that you can just look and just get a good feeling without even have to sign up.
So let me ask you this, Gerald, man. I got to back up a question. Why is positivity a leadership choice?
You know, like I was saying, well, I grew up in the church, so I always looked at the pastor as somebody who was a leader in my community. And that's always been the safe space to go. So, you know, I'm not the greatest speaker. When I was little, I thought I was going to be a pastor. I thought I was going to be leading some sermons. But as you can tell, I'll be rambling. You would never get out of church if you let me in there.
Hey, man, you to somebody that go to a church of God in Christ, and book, man, we go at 11, we don't get out to 2, bro. So, okay, I hear you. No.
Yeah. I always thought that the leader of the community has always been somebody of faith. And it's from the earliest days. Jesus was a leader in his community. It's always been the faith. So being a leader in the tech world and able to do it with faith is just, you know, the opportunity that we really wanted to do and try to make some change.
That's what he wants us to do, man, by his name. You know, because some people are divert from the mission to please, you know what I'm saying, the outside and all, you know, say everybody out there and do it for money. And then we'll lead a mission that God has put us forth with. And sometimes the money may come. And so we're like, oh, God bless you with this. You know, you went off the road of the blessing, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't built on a solid foundation. So, you know, don't care how much you build on it, that thing gonna come falling down at some point. But this blessing thing sound like it was built off of faith. What did that scripture say, man? It was 2. They built the house and one built it on the rock and the winds came and it didn't blow down. And then one built it on the sand and then the same winds came and blew that house down. I could see Blessn being on that one that was built on the rock, man. No matter how much the winds come, man, that thing still gonna be standing. Man, like I say, but I think that's pretty cool, man. They athletes and, you know, it's a lot of positive people out there in the world. A lot of people that, you know, want to show love and this and that, not be so distant from people like myself, you know, whatnot. And so, man, I think that's something that's cool that y'all did, man, to bring faith-driven people together. So Keep doing your thing, man. One more question for you, man. Advice for purpose-driven founders like you and Kevin.
All right. Well, here's one thing I heard when I was a kid, and it stuck with me my entire life. And it said, if you believe it, and you can conceive it, then you can achieve it. And that has been with me since elementary school days. So everything that I believed in wholeheartedly and I visualized in my mind, you will achieve it. and it's going to be some road bumps and it's going to be some obstacles in your way. But if you really believe it, you can achieve it. So don't let anybody discourage you. Keep moving forward and you're going to win. Like you said, you're already a winner, right? So you just got to keep winning. You got to keep playing the game, and you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But if you play the game, you're going to end up on top.
You cannot lose with the power of God behind you. Now, you can lose if you're in your own lane, but not with the power of God. Sometimes it may seem like you're losing because there's some development that has to go on and take place before he gets us to where we supposed to be. But a lot of times we quit in the middle of that because we want the success right away. But I'm glad you and Kevin kept going, man. Oh, so on that note, G, man, give us one last thing, man, one last word, something that's on your heart, man, before we get out of here that you would like to share.
Well, first I want to thank you for letting me come on your show. I also want to thank everybody for listening. I think Blessn is a great tool for outreach. So if you got a message you want to reach people with, if you're a pastor or you got a community that you want to reach out to, Blessn is the spot to do it. Great for fundraising. And, just pray to God and keep moving forward and give Blessn a try. And if anybody who's just listening and not watching us, it's BLESSN. So check us out on the App Store, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Oh, man. Thank you for coming on, man. And thank you for being a blessing to us, man. Like I said, you can check it out, the Blessn app at the Apple Store and on Google Play. So wherever you want to check it out at, check it out. Join the community. Say if you don't want to join the community, come in and peep it out and look at it. And by the time you look at it, you will want to be a part of it. And you can monetize off of it from day one. That gives you a little extra incentive to at least go check it out and see what my man G and Kevin cooking up over there. Hey, so G-Man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm a little jealous because you're out there in LA right now, man, with all that good weather, and I'm here in the cold. But everybody's not, man. I'm going to be out there sitting with you front row, man, watching choreographed performance by Debbie Allen, you know what I'm saying, with them Lake girls. I don't know if she still do that, but she did. But of it, so they can't take nothing. They can't take that away from you, Debbie. And so this your boy CJ Moneyway. Again, check out my man Gerald app at the App Store. Check out your boy CJ Moneyway on podcast platform. Until the next time, we out of here. Peace.
You've been listening to the CJ Moneyway Show. With real stories, real lessons, and real perspective come together. Remember, move with patience, move with purpose. That is the mindset of a panther. Until next time, keep building your legacy brick by brick by brick by brick.
Music style.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.